Chaturanga. Catur is an ancient Indian strategy game which is the common ancestor of the board games chess, shogi, sittuyin, makruk, xiangqi and janggi. Chaturanga developed in the Gupta Empire, India around the 6th century AD. In the 7th century, it was adopted as shatranj in Sassanid Persia, which in turn was the form of chess brought to late medieval Europe. The exact rules of Chaturanga are unknown. Chess historians suppose that the game had similar rules to those of its successor Shatranj. In particular, there is uncertainty as to the moves of the Gajah, the precursor of the modern chess bishop. History. Sanskrit Chaturanga is a Bahuvrihi compound, meaning having four limbs or parts, and in epic poetry often meaning army. The name comes from a battle formation mentioned in the Indian epic Mahabharata, referring to four divisions of an army, namely elephants, chariots, cavalry and infantry. An ancient battle formation, Akshauni, is like the setup of Chaturanga. Chaturanga was played on an 8x8 uncheckered board, called Ashtapada, which is also the name of a game. The board sometimes had special markings, the meaning of which is unknown today. These marks were not related to Chaturanga, but were drawn on the board only by tradition. Chess historian H.J.R. Murray conjectured that the Ashtapada was also used for some old race-type dice game, perhaps similar to Chokobara, in which the marks had meaning. An early reference to an ancient Indian board game is sometimes attributed to Subandhu in his Vasivadata. The Time of the Rains played its game with frogs for pieces yellow and green in color, as if mottled by lac, leapt up on the black field squares. The colors are not those of the two camps, but mean that the frogs have two colors, yellow and green. Banabhata's Harshacharitha contains the earliest reference to the name Chaturanga. Under this monarch, only the bees quarreled to collect the dew. The only feet cut off were those of measurements, and only from Ashtapada one could learn how to draw up a Chaturanga. There was no cutting off of the four limbs of condemned criminals. While there is little doubt that Ashtapada is the game board of 8x8 squares, the double meaning of Chaturanga, as the four-folded army, may be controversial. There is a probability that the ancestor of chess was mentioned there. The game was first introduced to the West in Thomas Hyde's De Ludis Orientalibus Libri Duo, published in 1694. Subsequently, translations of Sanskrit accounts of the game were published by Sir William Jones. In Arabic, most of the terminology of chess is derived directly from Chaturanga. Modern chess itself is called shatranj in Arabic, and the bishop is called the elephant. Rules: the initial position is as shown. White moves first. The objective in Chaturanga, the same as modern chess, is to checkmate the opponent's Raja. Pieces and the moves: Raja moves one step in any direction, the same as the king in chess. There is no castling in Chaturanga. Mantri, also known as Senapati, moves one step diagonally in any direction, like the furs in Shatranj. Ratha moves the same as a rook in chess. Gajah. Three different moves are described in ancient literature. Two squares in any diagonal direction, jumping over the first square, as the alfil in Shatranj. This is a fairy chess piece which is a leaper. The same move is used for the boat in Chaturanga, a four-player version of Chaturangam. The elephant in xiangqi has the same move, but without jumping. One step forward or one step in any diagonal direction. The same move is used for the kun in makruk and the sin in sittuyin, as well as from the silver general in shogi. The move was described c. 1030 by Biruni in his book India. Two squares in any orthogonal direction, jumping over the first square. A piece with such a move is called a dababa in some chess variants. The move was described by the Arabic chess master Ali d Lic. 840 in his chess work. The German historian Johannes Coates suggests, rather, that this was the earliest move of the Ratha. Ashva moves the same as a knight in chess. Paditya, also known as Sainik, moves and captures the same as a pawn in chess, but without a double-step option on the first move. Additional rules. Ali mentions two further differences. Stalemate was a win for a stalemated player. This rule appeared again in some medieval chess variations in England c. 1600. According to some sources, there was no stalemate, though this is improbable. The player that is first to bear the opponent's king wins. In shatranj this is also a win, but only if the opponent cannot bear the player's king on his next turn.